Be prepared again to the lie, to the lie of the absolutely of incredible level.
Un mois avant son arrestation en janvier 2021, Alexeï Navalny accorde un entretien à Jacques Maire, membre de l'Assemblée parlementaire du Conseil de l'Europe. Il mène une enquête sur l'empoisonnement de l'opposant. Ce document inédit, Jacques Maire nous l'a confié, et dans cette vidéo, vous pourrez retrouver une version brute sous-titrée de cet entretien. Vous pouvez également retrouver notre vidéo de décryptage sur notre chaîne YouTube.
This is the beauty of poisoning.
Coming first to the situation itself. I mean, the moment of the poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
So when we looked at your interview in the Spiegel, when we looked at the Bellingcat, I would say, comments, I speak under the control of David, but there were three possibilities, if we understand well. When you had a Negroni the day before, then the bottle of water in your room, or a tea in the plane.
Well, I would say that it is the most unclear part of it, because no one's actually knows. This Negroni situation was just unusual, because I asked for one cocktail, then refused to bring it to me and bring another cocktail, and they were kind of people at the bar, and it is actually was one of the very few beverage I drink during these 24 hours. But I would say that personally, I more believe in the contact way of delivery. So maybe it was a Negroni, maybe it was a pillow, or soap, or something inside of the room, or a towel. No one knows. So but this bottle, as far as I know, the Novichok was found on the surface. So I touched something, and then I grabbed the bottle. That's why. So Novichok wasn't inside; it was outside. But all I can say on this issue is just pure speculation. We understand because of the bottle. We understand that poisoning was in the hotel because I touched something and then touched this bottle. But the moment of poisoning and the way of delivery, it's still unclear. So some people think it was Negroni. Some people think it was something in the room. Some people and some experts say it was both, because this highly advanced way of delivery is just to split it for the smaller pieces, and you have something with Negroni, you have something on the pillow, you have something on the towel, which give a guarantee that it would be no collateral damage, because someone can sip from your glass, someone can use I don't know, your towel, for example, maid can enter the room and take your towel, and nothing will happen. But if you are doing everything, like 3 items, it would be enough to be poisoned. But again, it's pure speculation and some ideas from the expert.
Coming back to the moment of the poisoning. So then you had a tea at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
It could be also a moment for
in the airport.
Yeah.
Just one of them, because of this situation with the bottle, with the trace on the bottle. We understand that something happened in the room.
Yeah.
Maybe also something happened in the airport, but I don't think it can be with this particular tea I drank I had in the airport, because I remember the situation quite well, and it would be extremely difficult to know to figure out what kind of cafe I would go to have a tea, and within 10 minutes to send an agent to persuade the bartender to put something, or to persuade bartender to go away. So no, I don't think so. I don't think that airport is a real possibility. And also, it's very easy for them to take away all footage in the hotel It's also not very difficult for them to take away for all footages from airport, but it's still more difficult. Yeah, this is a beauty of poisoning. You know, no one can understand when you was poisoned and how you was poisoned. This is now a lot of people, they ask themselves why to use Novichok, because it's so complicated to use it. But this is a pluses of it, because well, we still because of the bottle. Luckily, we know that it was in the hotel. If not a bottle, we would definitely sure it was in the airport. So nothing suspicious going with you, and maybe you was poisoned like you know 10 hours ago or 12 hours ago. It is another investigation of Bellingcat that FSB is now they're developing. They call it nano encapsulation, which allows to poison someone, not just through the food, but through the contacts as well, and the person will feel problems like in a couple of days even. So nothing strange I noticed on the plane.
So your wife was a victim. Was it a kind of mistake or?
No one knows, but I do believe it was a mistake.
Yeah. You were the possible target, and
she just eat something or touch something which was for me.
Okay.
Well, no one knows. These are crazy people. Maybe they were. She was a target. No one knows, but I think it's likely it was a mistake. I don't have any slightest doubt that these people they were following it, because anyway it's a not very easy operation to perform, right? So you need a lot of preparation, because you even if you're FSB, you cannot just go to the hotel and say just open the door in his room for me, because well there are video cameras, you don't know would it be a leak or something, so you should operate absolutely secure, even to be insecure from other FSB, because it's a way dangerous, more dangerous operation. So they were preparing for a long period of time. Well, we know that first attempt was somewhere before, around 2 years ago, and then another attempt was in Kaliningrad. So it was July of 2020, and then another this attempt on the August. So I think that they have an order to start operation. Maybe this first attempt that I felt on the plane, it was they tried to measure amount of the, maybe that wasn't an attempt to kill, or maybe not. You know, some people who are expert in this area, they told us that there is not such thing as a try with Novichok, because you cannot try with it.
Yes.
You cannot measure it, because it's absolutely impossible to measure it in the field situation, just in the lab. That's why I survived first time and Yulia survived first time, because it's extremely difficult to do it it's impossible to do it without lab. So I thought that situation in Khabarovsk and in Belarus was a trigger for it, but looks like they started to do it much earlier. And definitely they have an order to prepare to start to launch this operation after my declaration that I'm going for presidency. Yes. They were looking for opportunity, because I travel with a group of people, and it's not very easy to do it in the way that no one would notice and no one else, because it's easy, of course, to poison the food, but well, several people dead, and well, it would be difficult to explain with diabetes, right? Collective diabetes. And so they were waiting for a good moment to make it. But I think poisoning, not car accident, because poisoning is, as I said previously, have a lot of room of speculation and new version, and difficult to believe something, and there are no proofs. Well, it is suspicious that, but who knows what happened exactly. And the second, maybe the main goal why they're using poisoning, because it's terrifying. People just start to afraid. People, it's one of the bonuses of poisoning, that a lot of people start to afraid. Come on, even here in Europe, now I talk to people and some European politicians saying, well, these thing with the murders who just can put something, I don't know, on your door, and then you drop dead. I just don't want to mess with it. It's people are afraid of such mysterious deaths. This, I think, it's main goal, and Putin has personally enjoyed the idea that people are afraid of his dark power. That's that sort of things. Very, very good example. I think we have in the same situation, because they just will take any. They will have documents with the confirmation that it was Novichok, and publicly say we have documented that there is no confirmation it was Novichok. And so, look, level of denial, a level of lie, is absolutely incredible in this case, totally incredible. And you know that during telephone conversation between your president and Putin, he told that I poisoned myself. So it's just a nice example what kind of lie they are ready to say in this particular situation. But I think that everyone who knows something, they're in Russia, and they are very, very afraid of it, because this is the kind of very personal case for Putin and for FSB, especially now, because it's huge failure of FSB, and they are guarding all information, and they are threatening everyone who can share it. It's a routine of my work that every time I come somewhere, I have a surveillance. But it's a kind of, regular surveillance made by police or by FSB, local ones, because, well, they're watching me all the time when I'm in the regions, and in Moscow, actually. It's all the time. So, but it's very easy to define them, because they're just following you, and they are men who are pretending to talk into phones. Yeah. So all the time I have a regular surveillance, and after I would say second day I was poisoned, it was a huge and very strange publication in the Russian media about Navalny was under surveillance all the time, and this is his schedule, and they just published my exact schedule that no one's supposed to know. And I think that this part of FSB, who's responsible for my surveillance, they try to, protect themselves by publishing that we are watching him, and we did nothing suspicious with him, because this part of this poison group, of course, it's very classified, and even inside of FSB, actually no one knows about them. We have this absolutely crazy story with the German doctors who came to evacuate me. Do you know the story? How they all, so they came, and they were brought from the plane by FSB agent to the hotel, and then they took them from hotel to the hospital, without my wife and others knowing it. So, and my whole team and my wife, they are running around the hospital trying to catch these pilots, these doctors, German doctors. But they are literally make a circle around them. They bring them to me to the intensive care, and they watch at me and said, as we know later, he's ready to be transferred. And then they in the same way, with the circle of FSB agents around them, they took them away from the hospital. And despite my people tried to block their car, literally jump under this car, they still evacuate them, and they have a press conference and said, well, German doctors, they examined him and said he's not transportable. So just to be prepared again to the lie, lie of the absolutely of an incredible level. Yes, it is totally Hollywood story. The diagnoses they give me in the Omsk hospital, they are ridiculous from the just point of view of normal medic. So yes, of course, it's this is actually the crucial part which shows that what we have in Omsk was not a proper treatment, but it was cover-up operation. And we have all evidence with that.
So what kind of treatment did you have during this 48 hours?
No one knows. Well, I was, because my wife, she was allowed just for once to see me, and then I was isolated. Or no one knows where's my clothes is, because I was transformed to Germany completely naked. On my clothes, socks, t-shirt, jeans, underwear, it was confiscated. If there is a criminal investigation, these items considered to be evidence, so they can keep it. But there are no investigation, so we are asking them, just give me back my clothes. And they are refusing to give it to me because they said, oh, these are evidences. But what kind of evidences if you don't have a criminal investigation? So it's kind of circle. Is it like a Khashoggi case when they protect top brass? Well, everyone knows actually who ordered the killing of Khashoggi. So, but they prosecute kind of minor guys and they protect higher guys. And in this situation, if in theory could imagine that it was a FSB operation without Putin to know, maybe it could be a compromise in terms of the prosecute these particular 8 people, and to say like, well, it was their decision, they did it on their own. But well, looks like it's not looks like, I'm totally sure it was Putin's direct order, so they are protecting the whole thing. The Nemtsov is quite different, I would say. The Nemtsov looks like it was Ramzan Kadyrov tried to make a gift for Putin. So they protected Ramzan Kadyrov, and they protected the guy who organized all this, one of his top military guys. Delimkhanov, correct. But they actually put in jail people who they shot the guy who literally was the killer. In my situation, you can see that the whole structure make it in the very formal way, like, you know, with meetings, with the protocols, and with the roles, and with the special institution who's producing chemical weapon. So that's why it's even admit half of it, part of it. It's extremely dangerous for them because it's state terrorism, right? But as you said, someone set up the whole mechanism and launched this mechanism like at least 4 years ago, because they start to follow me, and since these are medics and chemics who are following it, it's definitely that they are following with this purpose, which can be performed just by medics and chemists. But all other things about, you know, their motives in August or before August, it's just a pure speculation. They were not following me, and then all of a sudden they start to follow me in every trip. So and there is one event between non-following and following. I declared that I'm going for a run for president. Before August 20, within several years, it totally was forbidden to mention my name in any way. But now they're mentioning all the time, so they try to they're saying that I'm a CIA agent, and I'm an extremist, and I'm a fraud, and I'm a criminal, blah, blah, blah. But they are discussing it all the time. It's topic number 1 within 4 months. Among those who are, well, not support him, but also maybe not support me, it's the effect of this poisoning and this inside of state structure of poisoning. It's terrifying, because, well, people don't like me, but they definitely don't like fact that there is a hidden group of killers working inside of states. And even, you know, I think among Putin's elite, they terrified the most, because they understand
Yes.
it's to kill them.
Then coming to the rationale of so you attribute it to Putin himself. This is very clear.
Yeah.
And because you think he feels you as a growing threat.
I think not just me, but me in particular, but also with the people who I represent. There are more and more such people. In my organization, we did a lot of investigation, and we are acting. We're not afraid to participate in the rallies, meetings, and we make it all over the country. And we are not operate just in not just in Moscow. Like vast majority of opposition, they are located just in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and we are not afraid. And we operate a lot in regions also, and we don't afraid to investigate Putin's personal corruption. So I think it's, and we have a lot of support, and our organization still able to operate absolutely independent because we have this grassroots donation, like a lot of people sending us very small donations, so they cannot prevent our activity through the methods they are used to apply. Previously, if someone would say me that Putin want to kill you, I would say no, because well, our previous knowledge about how he deals with it, it's well, I understand I can be imprisoned, I can be harassed, that sort of thing. But you know, killing people with a chemical weapon, it sounds crazy. And if honestly, if it's not results of these labs, I would never believe it's Novichok, because it sounds crazy. And yes, so I thought, and definitely it was a delusion, it was wrong, that they can use such a methods of killing against people who think they are terrorists or spies or traitors, so that's that sort of things. But against political opponents, other methods like defamation campaigns and in prison. But definitely it was a big mistake.
The way he behaved, I mean, banning your name from any kind of public and so on, was a kind of un mépris, certain level, some kind of contempt. I mean, we do not pay attention to this insignificant person.
And he literally said the same thing today. Like he called me that patient, and Berlin's patient, and that I'm very insignificant. Why would we poison him? Who's he to poison him? It was his exact words. And yes, they act like this, but well, the question is, if I'm so insignificant, why they were following me within 4 years? Well, of course they understand that it's not about me. It's about people who are represent or trying to represent. These are millions of people who don't want to live in a country where the whole power just in one hands. People, half of a country, at least half of a country, want Russia to be a normal European country, and he wants to do everything to squelch, to push back these type of thoughts and political movements.
And were there times or moments where his environment tried to negotiate with you? Or
no. It's people ask me about this a lot, but never. Also because I think
you are radical in a way, so.
They consider me as a radical, and maybe it's a flattering thought for myself. All my previous track records shows them that they cannot bribe me or persuade me or threaten me, so they just kind of I'm a kind of done for them in terms of negotiations. All the time making threats, and they seize in my apartment and bank accounts, and definitely they send in signals and messages, don't come back. But I have no idea, would I be arrested at the airport? maybe later. Maybe I will come and they will wait until this everything settled down and then will arrest me. Or maybe not. I have no idea. But and I think, and so far they have no idea. They just know. They just don't want me to come back. That just to avoid this problem also, because to avoid this decision, because this is the best development for them. For me, being another immigrant. Yeah. So they thinking about it, and who knows what happens.
And what do you think is the future of your movement and your foundation in case you do not come back?
Well, they know how to operate without me, because actually I spent a lot of time every year in prison, so they are accustomed to work with me without me. And but of course it would be more difficult. It would be no crucial. The organization will be will sustain and will operate, but of course it would be more difficult in terms of moral motivation. There are some other people who can lead, and I think on a bigger picture, if they would kill me, it's changed nothing. Because there are other people who are ready to stand on my place, but I think it's something personal with the Putin, with this strange thing. He never mentioned my name.